People don't abandon people they love. They abandon people that they're using. This is Epic Thought. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Epic Thoughts. I am your boy, Roman. I am so excited that you're here with me tonight, or wherever you're listening to it, man. I gotta get some things off my chest, bro. It's about time that we do things and we do things right here at Heritage Park. So, no guest today. My guest is me. I'm my guest today, and so we're gonna get right into it. Um, for those of you who know, we used to do Epic Thoughts. And then give you a little bit of backstory. We used to do Epic Thoughts for like every Tuesday, and back then our show was 2 hours long, and it was me, and it was my homeboy Carla, and then it was my homie Ivy, Carla's husband, and it'd be us three, and we talk about whatever's going on, and every Tuesday without fail, and people loved it. We enjoyed it. Then 2020 happened. In the midst of 2020, Carla and her husband moved to Texas. So since that move, it's been kind of hard to be consistent with Epic Thoughts, and it's just been hard to be consistent altogether. This is going to be one of those episodes where I'm just going to be completely open with you, because I think it's important to be open, because people struggle in silence. People struggle in the quietness. They don't really talk about what's really bothering them, and that's actually affecting us more than you know. Sometimes, if you're like me, you stay silent out of complacency, or you stay silent out of not wanting to offend or ruffle feathers at all, or don't want to shake up the monkey tree. But I'm here to tell you today, man, it is absolutely imperative that you let your voice be heard. It's absolutely imperative that you show up to things, not just physically, but mentally show up to stuff. Show up for life. It's important that you show up and be and consistent in life. It's important for you, because when you only show up to the point where you believe you can show up at, right? So you're only your best version of yourself when you think you're the best version of yourself. Once you get to the point where you don't think like you're adequate enough, or that you carry the right level of intelligence, or if you think that you can't do something, once you put the block on yourself, then once you put the limit on yourself, that's the limit, right? That's the limit. That's the limit you got to live by. And for so long in my life, I've noticed something, and it came to a halt last night. I'm at the movies, and I'm watching a couple of films. I took a day and watched two movies at once. I went and saw Spider-Man, Across the Universe. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you're not a Spider-Man fan, it's still a really good watch. Script is incredible. It's incredible. The movie was incredible. I don't know if it was better than the first one, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's got my pick for top film of the year. It was really that good. The script writing was incredible. Story was incredible. And then I went and saw Transformers, because I'm a Transformers buff. If you know anything about me, you know that I like Transformers. That's my thing. Like, I grew up on that stuff. I love the faction of it. I love the armies. And I will say this, after watching Transformers, Rise of something. I don't know which one it was. It was Rise of something. After watching Transformers this weekend, I will say to you that I have not seen a good Transformers movie. So take that with a grain of salt. Take it as it may. I have not seen a good Transformers film. I say all that to say, I was sitting in there in that theater, and I know I can't make a Transformers movie. That's not in my wheelhouse. I'll never have that opportunity. I'm okay with it. Maybe I'll make a GoBot movie. Who knows? But I sat there and I said to myself, I was like, yo, this is a complicated scenario, because I love it so much. I'm going to keep going to watch these films because I love the films. I love watching movies in theaters. And so I'm going to keep paying my money to go see these movies in theaters. And at the same time, they're going to take it as I love it because I keep paying money to go see it. So therefore, they're going to consistently keep making these films. Doesn't mean that they're good. Doesn't mean that I like them. They're just making money, and they're equating making money with people like the films. Okay, it's not what it is, because a lot of people paid money to see this movie and did not like it. And so I saw this cycle happening, and I thought to myself, I'm a creator. I put on this earth to create. I'm put on this earth to help people. I'm put on this earth to create, and I'm my best self when I'm in that zone. I am the best version of myself when I'm in that zone. I'm the best version of myself when I'm creating. I am the best version of myself when I'm helping people through their stuff. And I realize my silence and my lack of consistency has been my villain this whole time. Um, I would even say, as much as to say, my worst enemy is myself. I am my own worst enemy because I allow distractions to take over. I allow self doubt to take in my head. I give space and I give room to people who shouldn't be there. Now, I should have said this to you guys on this podcast and not, because I've been sharing with a lot of people what God is bringing me through when it comes to like mental health and things like that. And I'm only talking to a few. Okay, this may not be for the masses. I don't know, but maybe you're one of the few that say, "Bro, you're talking directly to me when I say this next statement." I have been frustrated. Have you ever been frustrated to the point where you're trying to tell people what you're going through, not so for their help, but because you're trying to give people a safe space to share their stuff? And I'm sharing my story, and people are interrupting me sharing my story to tell me what I should have done in situations, or you should have done this, or that such and such shouldn't, you shouldn't never give yourself wholly to somebody else like that because da 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 da, and the Bible says this, and that if you weren't hurt, then you would have been in a different situation. I cannot stress enough to you, people don't need your 2 cents. If you're one of those people don't need your 2 cents, because sometimes, and here's me, I wasn't sharing my stuff. I was in a group setting I shared, and people kind of like didn't take it well. Not because they didn't take it well, me take it well. They're trying to fix the problem I was setting before people. And I don't, I listen, I have therapy. Okay. I have a very strong therapy, and it's not just one person. I have a team. I have a team of people that get paid decent money to take care of my mental health. Okay. So should you, right? I believe that everybody at some level should have a level of groups of people that they can talk to that are smarter than them, that are clinically impaired to handle you in certain situations. So one thing I will say that I've done a lot of work in this area is I've put together a strong team to help me process emotional pain and emotional inabilities. That being said, I don't need average Joe Schmo to give me advice, right? I don't take advice light. I don't take advice. I just don't, because I noticed that a lot of people don't go through what I've gone through. Now, there may be some people. Now, I will say this, and I'm saying this to you too, because you got to be mindful of who you're talking to, because there may be people, like I personally do not take money advice from broke people. Absolutely don't give, don't take money advice from broke people. I don't even talk about it, right? If I have money things going on, I don't talk about it to people, because most people, there's only a handful of people that I know that got money that can walk me through what I'm dealing with and help me figure out whatever it is I'm thinking out. So, it's funny because some people, your best friend is your confidant that you talk and get advice from. And your best friend may be struggling in marriage, they may be struggling in their health, they may be struggling in money, and you're listening to them for everything. Like, don't the Bible talks about don't be wise. Keep your eyes open. Be wise, right? We don't need to be having conversations with people that have nothing on what they can bring to the table, right? So with that being said, I was being open and honest with people because I was sharing the road that I've been on to get me to where I'm at today, which I'm sharing with you. And I had a lot of people just kind of give me pushback. And I know what it is. It is people are genuinely scared to show that they have any kind of I don't want to call it weakness as opposed to vulnerability. That's what it is, really. People are shared to show vulnerability. So they want to be everyone's savior. They want to solve everybody's problem. and there's somebody that I'm thinking of right now. They just want to solve everybody's problem. But then on the outside looking in, you can see that they're struggling too, and they would benefit from being vulnerable, because when you're vulnerable and you're open and you're honest, it actually puts things in perspective. It helps you process things a different way, and so on and so on. I'm not saying our churches don't do this, but we need more spaces like this in our ministries. We need more spaces where people can talk, where people can to verbalize in a non-judgmental way, not just even that, or in a way where they don't have to worry about somebody barging in and give them an answer. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of help them through. Um, Over here at Hope Recovery Center in Corona, we do, I don't do it, but we have AA meetings here. And I've noticed that in the AA meetings, no one's trying to answer anybody's problem, right? Because they're all there at the same time to hash out things. So it and I I vividly really, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I know that it's important that we have these conversations like we're having today. This week has been a, a eye-opening moment for me. I had somebody tell me on Sunday. Sunday was my mom's wedding. I had somebody tell me to my face, and I didn't tell my friend this. I didn't tell my friend this, because there's just been a lot of stuff going on. But they told me, yo, in not so many words, they said, bro, I've been looking for Heritage Park lately and I can't find y'all. You're not as consistent. I look for you. That was the terms that was used. Dude was like, bro, I'm looking for Heritage Park and I can't find it. And they're not saying it from the standpoint of, I don't know where you are. But they're saying from the standpoint is, you guys were consistent and then now you're not. That did something to me, because it was like, yo, somebody was looking for us. And they were like, I've been looking for Epic Thoughts. You ain't done no new ones. I've been looking for the next episode, Superficially Deep. It's not out. You said you did it. Where is it? And I realized consistency is the key to make anything work. If you want to make something work in life, you got to be consistent with it, man. If you want a relationship to work, you have to be consistent in it. You want your business to work. Any business can work if you're consistent. You can do anything you put your mind to if you're consistent. We're not like, listen, if you're like me, you're not one of those people that's going to get the number one shot first time out. You know what I'm saying? Like, first shot, you're going to get all net, or, first time putting in a job offer, you're going to get the $150,000 a year job. If you're like me, that's not going to happen the first time. As a matter of fact, it may not happen at all. But if you're consistently getting on base, if you're consistently making the shot, if you're consistently producing, if you're consistently just baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step. If you're consistently doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're eventually going to win. There's no doubt in my mind that consistency is the key. So here's the deal. If you're consistent, you can stop saying stupid stuff like, I hope it works out. I'm going to try to make this happen. I want to do this. Those are the words of losers. Those are the words of people who are not willing to be consistent, right? Because if I consistently keep going to the gym, I'm going to win in my physical health. If I consistently stay on a program that's predicated on helping me lose weight, then I will win. Okay. If I consistently continue to drop content, to make music, I'm not saying I'm not trying to be the next Kanye or anything like that. I just want to make good music that people can listen to. And I've had people tell me, you got good music, you're just not consistent enough with it. If I was consistent enough, we can go from 100 viewers to 1,000 viewers. Then we go from 1,000 viewers to 2,000 viewers. And we go from 2,000 viewers to 100,000 viewers. We can make this happen. You can do whatever your heart's desire if you're consistent with it. Now, this is where the enemy steps in, though. This is where the enemy gets you, dog. The enemy gets us by shutting us down and making us feel that we're doing things in vain, right? You're doing things in vain. You're giving up too much of yourself. It wants you to be selfish and think about, it's not happening, bro. And also the enemy for me is I start comparing. I compare other people's lives. There's a minister out there that I feel like in the bottom of my heart, there was times I even said this last week. I told somebody, I feel like God took the anointing that was on my life and gave it to this person. This is a double anointing of what I originally was, what I felt God put on my heart. And I realized God doesn't take things from you. If you God doesn't take things the way we think he does. He gives us much ample opportunity to use the gifts that he gave us. And the gifts make room for us, not other people. So I'm always like, well, of course, if I had such and such on my side, I'd make it further. Of course, if I had such and such helping me financially, I'd make it further. Now, I always do that comparison. When I see somebody killing it, I'm like, well, they got a big church, they got money. So, of course, they're winning. Oh, this person's got this person. That person's giving money, obviously. That's why they're making it. That's why I don't have what I have. I always make that comparison, not realizing, bro, maybe they just didn't give up. And we look at these cats, we look at the people with 10,000 followers, the 5 million followers or 100,000 followers, and we sit there and be like, must be nice. But we don't realize we were never there when there was 2 followers and 100 followers, or they were making this much money. Yeah, they're making $1 million today, but I wasn't there when they was making $100. I wasn't there when they was doing stuff for free. I wasn't there for that. I'm there. I'm witnessing the big part, the big picture, right? I'm witnessing trying to get Taylor Swift tickets for $1,500 for nosebleed, dog, nosebleed. You know what I'm saying? I can't get $1,500 for a whole show, but I can now. But at one point I couldn't, But I wasn't there when Taylor Swift was doing karaoke nights, when she was doing cabarets for free, and which takes me to another point. And I'm just rambling, bro. I'm just shooting at the hip today. This is Heritage Park. This is Epic Thoughts, bro. Unplugged. God was showing me something. He was like, if you're going to continue to do, because I kept thinking about money aspect. I kept thinking about the money. And I'm like, I can't do this. And people ask me to do stuff for them. I'm like, I can't do it unless I get paid, bro. I can't do it unless I get a cut, bro. I need CTC, is what my friends say. CTC, cut the check. And there's some things that, yes, I do get paid for. And there's other things I get paid very well on. But at the end of the day, I realize when I'm doing things for money and not for value, there's a difference between doing things for value and doing things for money, right? Doing things for value means I'm sowing seed. I'm making this thing happen. I'm doing something to add value to either to my life or to somebody else's life. And sometimes you can't put a money dollar sign on that. There are things that I actually still to this day do for free. There's still groups that I still meet with. I still do shows for certain groups for free because it's value. Sometimes I'll do appointment sessions. There's an album that I'm recording and it's coming out of my pocket. So I have no contract giving me back any dollar. Like I'm not getting back $1 and I don't care. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to add value. Because when it gets to the point where you start doing things for money, money becomes your God, right? Money becomes your God. You're ruled by money. You can either work for money or you can make money work for you. And I always told myself, I can't be like everybody else. And I noticed that everybody else, it's funny. There's some people that won't do the thing that they love unless they get paid for it. I got a homie, man. I got a homie that when I tell you he just started rapping, like he just started rapping Thursday. Not playing. It's not that early in the game, but he's early in the game. He early. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't paid his dues yet. People don't know he exists. He got his youth group knows about him. And this is, don't try to figure out who it is. It ain't Kevin Davis. Don't worry about it. But he gives me, he asks for input for his songs. So he sends me songs and stuff like that, but he don't got that yet. He ain't there where he can start making money on shows. And he's taking himself out of the game because I love his heart. He's trying to get into the big shows. And so he's always trying to put himself in the big shows. And then the big shows be like, yeah, we got you, dog. But here, we're going to put you on the small stage, or we're going to use you as an opener because nobody know you, dog. We're not going to put you on the flyer yet. And he'd be like, oh, I can't do it unless I get 500, baby. And I get it, man. We got to eat to live, right? We got to eat to live, and we need money to make things happen. I get that. But this kid ain't rapping. When I tell you he's not rapping, he ain't doing no shows. You know what I'm saying? He got maybe 30 listeners on Spotify. And he's like, yo, I need 5. Every time somebody wanted him to come and do a show's like 25 people at the show. I can't come until at least I get 250 out you. And that's how you talk too. I need 250 out you. And I'll be laughing because I'm like, did they give you the money? No. Did you do the show? No. So what did you accomplish? I just need to get paid. We all do. Everybody needs to get paid. But if you're doing things and you're serving mammon, if you're serving the money behind the value, you're never going to be fulfilled. It's never going to happen, bro. It's never going to happen. Trust me. I've had days where I've had a cool amount in the bank account, like a super cool amount where I'm like, life is good. Life is good, my boy. We eating shrimp tacos today. You know, we get the shrimp tacos and the birria. I just found out what birria is made out of. I don't know if I would eat it anymore. I'm just saying. But we eating good today. And then I've had days where I look at the bank account, there's $8 in there. That's why the scripture tells us in all things, I've learned to live. I've learned to, I know what it is to have much, and I know what it is to have little. And in both scenarios, I've learned how to trust the Lord. I've learned how to rely on his grace. I learned how to rely on his goodness. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all that every day is peaches and cream, because every day ain't peaches and cream. But I will say this, when you start selling out your gift, when you start prostituting your gift for the dollar, you're devaluing your worth. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no place to go but up. You just got to increase. You're going to increase. But value multiplies. Value multiplies. I know a guy who does incredible shows. I'm going to give you the alternative. So my homeboy, like I told you, he won't do a group of 20 people for at least, he got to get 250 out you. I need 250 out you, dog. But I know another cat. I'm not going to tell you his name because people will abuse him, because there is a level of abuse there. I know a cat who I've watched him. I literally watched this man go from 1 fan to 5 fans to 100 fans to 5,000 fans. And I want to look on it. I'm going to look while I'm talking. I've seen him go from fan base to fan base, and he just grows in numbers. He just grows in numbers. And I've seen him just starting. His first joint was like, that's cool, man. You got skills. You got possibility. He keeps making music. He didn't have any YouTube followers. He didn't have no Spotify followers. Today, he got 53,000 monthly listeners. 53,000. He's doing the big shows. He's doing Coachella. He doing Joshua Tree. He doing the big show. He's doing what's that one show? He doing all the K-Love shows. He on every stage. And I'm loving watching this young man go. And we're peoples, man. We're boys. And I saw him do a show not too long ago, about 6 months ago. And it was a couple hundred people. So they could afford him. And at the end of the day, I was like, just talking. I was like, I asked the guy who was running the show, I said, yo, what was the honorarium for Homeboy? Da, da, da. And he goes, bro, he didn't ask for one. Oh, he didn't ask for one? He didn't ask for one. So I went and pulled the side. I said, yo, you ain't asking for honorarium? He goes, bro, I do this because this is what I love to do. And this gives me opportunity. And if I make it about the money, then I'm never going to grow. When I make it about giving people an experience, the money always finds itself. This dude's been doing it full time now for 2 years. He started with little. I'm trying to think what year he started. Maybe 2016, 17. He started young, dude. And he got bills. He got things he got to maintain, but he started the work and he was consistent. Like this dude is probably one of the most consistent artists I know. I know a few actually that are very consistent and they're killing the game. I know some, he's got good skills. And then I know cats who are not that great skillfully, but they're consistent and they're knocking 100,000, 200,000. I ran into his promotions dude a couple months ago. And I'm like, yo, and I don't like his music. I'm not for it. But at the same time, this dude is killing the game. They were consistently working. They were consistently growing. They were consistently getting better at their craft. They would do the bad shows. They do the good shows. They do the great shows. And now they're getting called in to do the big shows. You can be there, but are we at the point right now where we're impatient? We need things right now. We need change right now. And I get it. You know why? Because we live in a world that's right now. We live in a world that's right now, right? Today is the 13th of June. I have a credit card bill due today. I paid it before I did the show, but I did have a credit card bill due today. So I get it. We have to spend money today. There's things that are due today, but you got to look at, are you selling yourself short? Because if I have my skill set only makes me so much money because that's what I put my value at. I'm giving the option to say, hey, I can't make more than this. Okay. To do a show for Ramon to do a show, I need 250 out you. If I sit there and I do that and I tell you, yo, I'm 250. You want me to come do a show? I'll do a show for 250. Now, here's what's going to happen. I either get the show for 250 or I get the show for nothing. It's 250 or bust. Okay. It's 250 or bust. And at that point, if it's 250 or bust, I'm going to get enough just to pay the bill, or I'm going to bust and not get nothing. And 9 times out of 10, it's the bust. Because for every one cat that's asking for 250 for the show, there's like 8 other cats that will do it because they want the opportunity. And you never know. I've done shows, I've done messages, I've preached, and this is just from my personal experience. I've traveled across country, preached at a church service. They gave me $75. Yikes, bro. But I've also gone down the street to my house, preach, and they gave me 10,000. So it's when you start putting the number on yourself, you start to make the limit. But when you put the value, like what I'm about to give you is priceless and nobody else is going to give it to you. You can't put a value on that. That's when money actually comes, because now I'm putting effort and work into the work that I'm bringing to you. I'm putting effort and work into that. Now, I know what some people are thinking already. They're going to say scriptures like, well, the workman is worthy of his hire, and he is. They're going to say stuff like, well, God provides the increase, which he does, and all this other stuff, and God gives you the skill. And I get that. I get all that. My point is, where's your focus at? Right? Is your focus at putting in the good work? Is your focus in at putting the content out? Is your focus in, I'm going to be the best, blah, 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 that the world has ever seen, and I'm going to show you through my consistency. I'm going to consistently put in the work, and I'm going to show you I'm the best out here? Or are we going to let other people add the number to it? There's always room to grow, right? It's always room to grow. I'm talking to like entrepreneurs. I'm talking to people who are doing ministry. I'm talking to that 40-year-old that wants to rap. I don't know how many people walk in my door and be like, yo, I want to rap. Okay, that's cool. And then I see him like, how old is you? 48. You trying to be 48 and rap? Like, I'm trying to get out the game. But it keeps pulling me back in. So I'll do another record. And I keep telling people, this is it. This is the last one. But then the value comes up. The value increases with every record. And people are like, they're not calling me because I'm just every ordinary rapper. I'm a rapper that's been here for a minute. So I get in the rooms I'm not supposed to be in because I should have aged out. But I'm getting rooms because I'm consistently doing the work. How many times have you started doing something and stopped? And then when you started again, it felt like you had to start over. Then you had to start again and stop. Then when you start moving again, it felt like you were starting over. Then you had to stop. And there's always going to be something There's always going to be something that's going to stop you from moving forward. There's always going to be a heartbreak, right? There's always going to be a sickness. There's always going to be a death in the family. There's always going to be something, right? You trying to lose weight, there's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a gathering. It never fails. The moment I'm like, I'm going 100% on program and I'm going to lose this weight, all of a sudden people want to take me out to dinner. It never freaking fails. Like, when I'm out here just like, I ain't on program, just don't care. There's no one wants to take me to lunch, brunch, breakfast. But all of a sudden, you're like, I'm going to do this. Somebody called me up, was like, yo, you want to go to Villains in Anaheim? Yes, I do. I love Villains. If you're ever in Anaheim, you were like, yo, I want to pick Ramon's brain. Take me to Villains, bro. One of my favorite restaurants. Just don't take me on my program. But people always want to take you to some place to eat. Like, so because there's never a good time. If you're waiting for the good time to get started on the thing that you're passionate about, let me tell you, it's never going to happen. That time does not exist. It does not exist. It does not exist, right? It's always funny to me when I'm talking to somebody and they be like, yeah, I just want to do this. Okay. Can I work with you? Yeah, you can work with me. We're going to start working on this next Thursday. Oh, next Thursday? My sister's graduating from 4th grade. Okay. And I think it's important that I be there. You got to think about what are your priorities in life? What priorities you're going to live off of? This morning, about 5:00 this morning, I was doing my mental health things. I have a process that I go through in the morning now. Starts about 5:30 actually. So I woke up early today. Starts at 5:30 and I go through my mental checklist and I go through my processes and I go through my breathing exercises and my notes for the day. I write things down and I started writing down a chapter from my new book. And we had a name for the book. I think the name has changed several times. Basically, this is a love letter to my loved ones. It's not a suicide note. It's just a love letter. It's a letter to my loved ones. Like, this is the stuff I've learned throughout my years. This is the stuff that I've always wanted to tell people, just for whatever reason didn't. That's what this next book is about. It's not memoirs. It's not me about to leave the earth, but it's just a moment. And I have a chapter I'm working on called The Hierarchy of Wants. Here's how the hierarchy of wants goes in very simple layman's terms. I want to be Joe Manganiello. I think I said his name. I want to be Sofia Vergara's husband. I want to be him. Body-wise, I want the shape of Joe Manganiello. Heck yes. Even from the gray, silky beard. Amen. But I also want Oreos. I can't prioritize both. Do you see the dichotomy? Because if I can't prioritize both, they'll battle each other out. And they cancel each other out. Eventually, one of those priorities has got to take the back seat. And there's so many people who are in that. I want financial freedom, but I also want a job. Working a 9-to-5 job, for the most part, there's some jobs that give you financial freedom, but for the most part, you're not getting financially free. You actually put yourself in the trap because now you got to keep working to keep in the trap, and they don't pay you enough to get out the trap. You see the dichotomy? I want to be financially free, but then I need to work. Or I know couples that are like, we want to have kids, but we also want our freedom. Bro, as much as I love kids, I got kids. They don't give you the freedom that you don't get freedom, right? True freedom is when you ain't got the kids. And I'm not trying to tell people how to live their life and how to do their marriage, but you can't want kids and then want freedom. They're going to conflict. Spouses. You can't have a spouse that's there and available all the time for you, but then also is successful and makes a lot of money. That's a dichotomy. It's hard to find somebody who makes a lot of money that has a lot of time, unless you married a lotto winner. But even if you married a basketball player, and could go both ways, because if you want to, you can marry. I don't think Candace Parker's available, but you can marry Candace Parker. She's a basketball player for WNBA. She makes about 200 G's a year, but she's playing basketball from May to October. Like, you're not going to see her. You know what I'm saying? That's a half a year. She's gone. So it's not just women wanting men. That men want women too. There are men who want women to provide for everything, but they also want them there available. Bro, it doesn't work that way. Okay. You're trying to, you want two different things. And it's not bad that you want two different things. You just have to understand that your desire is causing hangup, because your hangup is, I want A, but I also want B, and they cancel out each other. So for a season, I'm going to have to tell one of my passions to shut the heck up. I'm going to have to tell one of my hearts to be like, yo, I'm going to have to back completely off this because I need A right now. And we can't complain about it because one is going to outdo the other. And in normal situations, when you don't make that decision to, and that's the word decide. The word decide means cancel out an idea. Okay. You have to cut an idea out to get the other one. Right. But if you don't do that, the strongest monster wins. So I've never had the body of Joe Manganiello. I've at the very best, I've had Kenan Thompson's body. That's horrible. Kenan Thompson is bad, but that's at the very best. I've had Kenan Thompson's body. Okay, I may have had maybe slimmer than that. Kel Thompson's body, or whatever Kel's name. So, but I had Oreos all the time, so my brain understands the goodness and the greatness behind an Oreo cookie. My brain doesn't understand the dichotomy or the greatness behind having a Joe Manganiello body. So my brain is naturally going to influence me to move towards the cookie, because the cookie can fix the problem today. The cookie can fix my emotional appetite. And here's the thing. Have you noticed one is emotional and one is logical? Emotionally, I want the cookie because it fixes what I feel right now. Logically, answers everything. And this is taking me to another point, that most people are making emotional decisions and then try to figure out logically in the back end. That's going to mess you up. You know, people are getting in marriages because they want to fix a logical problem, or they're trying to fix something quick, but then realize that they're in a situation that they need to be logical in, that they've never used to be logical in. So life is, I guess I'm just having a blah moment. I'm just vomiting on you, giving you all kind of information, but this is the stuff that's been going on. So it takes me to why we haven't done anything. All those things have been happening here at Heritage Park, and it starts at the head. I can't blame anybody but myself. Are there factors that I'm looking at other people? Yes, but it's still my fault. And people don't understand this because people don't understand leadership. It's my fault because I put people in charge. I put people in charge of certain areas and they drop the ball. I put people over different areas in Heritage Park and they drop the ball. In my life, drop the ball. Even here at Hope, people have dropped the ball. And maybe I've dropped the ball a couple of times. But you got to get up. You got to assess the damages. You have to get up and you got to keep moving again. The answer, there's only one answer, bro. Move again, right? Get up, dust the dirt off your shoes, dust the dirt off your shoulders, and keep moving forward. You cannot waste away daydreaming about what could possibly be. But bro, you don't understand. Every time I start over, it's like I'm starting over. Great. Start over and don't give up. If you listen, let me put it in this way. If I told you that the next time you start moving towards your dream, and I tell you, if you don't give up, you'll get there. You have to start all over, but you'll get there. Isn't it better to start all over knowing you'll get there than to never start again and fantasize about what if? I think it's better to start all over. And you're not starting over. You're never starting all over. Because when I started Heritage Park, I had no concept of knowledge of how to do this thing. Now I do. I had no concept of how to write a script or use the camera to the way we've been able to use it, or editing. Or I didn't know how to pull licensing for music. I didn't know how to go get it. I didn't know how to register the product. I didn't know how to register music into BMI. I didn't know what ASCAP was. I didn't know what promotions was. I didn't know how I didn't know what was the difference between mastering and mixing. And for all my rappers, please freaking master your stuff and mix your stuff. God. I didn't know what that meant though. You know, I didn't know what it takes to release a record. When I started, I didn't know any of that stuff. If I started over, I'm using over in quotation marks. If I started over, I technically wouldn't be starting over because I know how to do those things I didn't know how to do once. That makes the curve, right? That bends the curve, right? We released Kevin Davis's album early this year. And his album was the first album to chart on the Christian single. First Heritage Park album to chart. We charted. And all because, was the album good? Album's great. But it didn't chart because it was a good album. Hear me. It charted because we figured out a game plan. I figured out a 21-day game plan. This is what we need to do to make this thing pop so people can hear it. I came up with a 21-day program, 21-day system. We ran the system to a T, and I used the system based off of shortcomings and falls and stumbles that I've had through the years. Things that I've learned in the past that now I know not to do again. So we took all those things and we came up with a 21 game plan. I showed it to Kevin. I said, this is our 21-day game plan. This is what we're going to do. And if we need to follow this to a T, and we'll have success on our album. Bro, he charted. 2 months later, we got paid off the chart. 3 months later, we're waiting for another royalty check. And they're not our basic royalty checks. Let me just say that. Because we did the right thing. Now, did we do the right things afterwards? Royalty checks tell us the answer. But my point, and listen, the royalty checks pay us more than the $250 it costs to get you there. I'm just saying. You'll never get paid more than a good royalty check. I say all that to say, I'm not starting over. I'm just starting again. That should be the title. Not starting over, just starting again. You gotta shake some stuff off, though. To get to that point, you gotta be willing to shake things off. You gotta let go of stuff. You can do it, but you gotta let go of stuff. You gotta let go of the nobody likes me. Okay. Was it promised that people were supposed to like you? I'm talking to the people who are the outliers. I'm talking to the people who have something that they want to do and they want it to be different. They didn't want to be like everyone else anyway. There's something unique about them and they don't know what it is, but they know that they're built differently. I'm talking to you, dog, where you're just like, yo, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I can't live like this anymore. I can't. It's not working. It's not working. I'm talking about the dude that spent 2 hours today looking for a job, and you're looking at all these want ads and you're answering to all these applications, and you're just thinking to yourself, it's all the same. I'm getting the same results. But man, this thing over here that I dreamed about, man, I think that would have been my way out. Bro, I think it may have been. But that doesn't mean it's over. Doesn't mean that it's over. You can do it. You may not be the smartest person in the world. No one asked you to be. You don't even have to be the hardest working person. You just gotta be the dude that don't quit. You know, you just gotta be the dude that don't quit. It's hard, but if it was easy, everybody do it. But listen, this podcast, this episode got the cheat codes. We got the cheat codes over here. At least I think we do. Heritage Park PROD. That's the website. We need to change the website. I'm just being up for it and honest with you. We need some overhauling here at HP. And I'm willing to do it. I wasn't willing to do it before. I'm willing to do it now. Because you deserve better. We deserve better. And I realize that there's people that just need Heritage Park more than I thought. When you're able to take the work and walk away from your own silliness and look at things from a bigger perspective, you'll see that other people need you. They need you to get over they need to get over your crap. They need you to get over your stuff. They need you to not be thinking like everyone else. We don't have to think like everybody in the media. We don't have to think like everybody else in the world. You know, your journey can change somebody else's life. And I said this at a couple of podcasts ago, which a homie hit me up and told me that was one of their favorite podcasts. I had a podcast called What Privilege. And I made the statement. I said, listen, privilege exists, dog. White privilege exists. But that don't mean nothing. Because here's the bottom line. I know people with all the privilege in the world, and they ain't did nothing with their life. That's some wasted resources. But I also know cats that never had the shot, never was handed to them. But they went out there and they made their shot happen. And they win. So no matter what side of perspective you're on, what side of privilege you're on, you got to make things happen. And I said that, and I was like, when I said it in the podcast, I was like, ugh, that's going to get me canceled with white people. And then the person that told me it was one of their favorite was a white person. I was like, oh, cool, bet. And then God showed me the scripture that answered what I said. And it was the scripture of the talents, right? The Bible said that this man was given 5 talents, another man was given 2, and another man was given 1. So right there from the jump, 3 different people had 3 different levels of talent. One guy had 5 talents. One guy had 2. Another guy had 1. So we already see that the starting block is different for each person. So even in the Bible recognizes that you're going to be, sometimes you may be the guy with 5, but you might just be the guy with 1. And if you don't remember the story, I'll tell it to you. The guy came back, found out what the guy with 5 talents like, yo, what you do with your 5 talents? He's like, yo, I invested it, made 10. I said, bet. All right, then you're blessed. What'd you do? Do with 2 talents. What'd you do? Well, I invested it and turned it to 4. Bet. Congratulations. You're a good, faithful servant. Then he went to the guy with 1 talent. He was like, what'd you do? He goes, well, bro, I knew you hard and I only got 1 talent. Basically, he's saying, yo, I'm not like the dudes that got 5 talents. I'm not the dude that got 2 talents. I only had 1. And if I lost it, God. So I buried it and I hid it. And the owner said to him, like, you're so lazy, bro. You're so lazy. Even if you took your 1 talent and put it in the bank, you can collect interest on it. Then he took his 1 talent and gave it to the guy with 10. Doesn't that sound like America? That sounds like America. Oh, the rich people always get. Yeah, it's already set. It's set, man. And I wish there was a different answer, but there isn't. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing society is going to do. Our current structure of government is not going to do anything to change that. We tried affirmative action in the 90s. It didn't change anything. And there's still levels of affirmative action, and it's not going to work. You got to understand, you might just start behind the finish line. But if you turn your 1 to 2, you're already mastered 2. If you turn your 2 to 4, you're 1 step behind 5. If you turn the 4 to 8, you ain't thinking about nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Take what you got and manifest something special, incredible for you today. You're gonna have to make some decisions, though. You're gonna have to look at your hierarchy. What do you want versus what do you want? Are they battling each other? Are you one of those people like, man, I need to, here's me. I want some massive changes in my life. Personally, business, in my business, I want massive changes. So therefore, I can't sit at home and watch TV all day. I can't do it. If I slept 6 hours last night. In general, that sounds about right. I average about 6 hours of sleep. That's 18 hours I'm up. If I'm spending it looking at, if I spend it 2.5, which was last week, my phone tells me what I did with my time. It says I spent 2.5 hours a day scrolling. That's 2.5 hours I wasted. It said I did, I managed to do another couple hours just doing nothing. So it's like, there was time to do something. I just didn't do it because one of my hierarchies is I like to rest. I like to chill. I love to hang out with one of my homies, and I just love to spend time with my homie all day, every day. At the end of the day, it's conflicting to the hustle. It's conflicting to working. It's conflicting to taking this thing that God gave me, this small little seed, this one talent, turning it to 2, then turning it to 4, then turning it to 8. But no, I'm mad because the dude that had 5 now has 15 because he flipped it twice. Dang, I'm talking, bro. This is a good episode. The guy had 5 flipped it twice. The homie that had 2 flipped it 10 times. Now they're at 20. And I'm still at 1. Complaining. But we was on the same room, but we've always had different talents. And who knows, your 1 could flip to 10. But you got to stop looking at the 5 and the 2 and all these other people and what they got, what you ain't got, what you don't have, and what you don't get, learn. What you do have, flip it. People need you, man. And I'm talking to myself, but I'm also talking to you. People need your gift. There's people who are not going to flip. There's people who are not going to flip. There's people not going to take their 1 talent, turn it to 2. They're happy with the 1 talent. And you know what? They would give their left arm to be your agent. They would give their left arm to be your manager, your personal assistant. So flip yours, and then you can build a community. HeritageParkPROD.com. The website needs to be updated, so we will update it. Also, Heritage Park TV is available on all streaming TVs, including Apple TV. You can get it on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, not the Apple TV app. I keep having to say this to people. We're not on the Apple TV app. We're on the Apple TV. Like there's TVs that are Apple in it. We're on there. You also go to the website. You'll find it there. You also can get it on Android apps and Apple apps. Go to the store and just type in Heritage Park TV or HPTV, and you'll see a blue logo, blue and white logo. 848. We have a phone number you could text. I don't know it. It's 848-207-2631. Oh, I didn't know it. 848-207-2631. Send us a text message. Tell us where you are, where you're listening from, and get involved in the Heritage Park community, man. This is the last time that you'll see us operate from a place of nothing going on. There's at least 3 scripts on my computer that I haven't given to anybody. There's at least 1 record that we haven't even gotten to the studio yet, but have it. So you're not the only one that goes through this, but be damn sure we're still here next year. Damn sure we shouldn't be here next month. But we're going to do what we can. You do what you can. All right. Keep hustling, guys. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing what you got to do. I'll talk to you next week. God bless you. Have a great week. Stay safe. Share, like, and subscribe. Like, subscribe, share. Share the podcast with people you love. All right. God bless you.